category 1, waterfront real estate, 57 submissions. And this is down at Invaders Bay and somewhere between San Fernando and so on. So we got 57 submissions. You see how competitive this is. This is extremely competitive.
These are mega projects.
And these are, again, we iterate, these are mega projects, right? 57 submissions, right? You're talking about, well, Invaders Bay foreshore, 300 premium waterfront apartments, 400 berths, marine docks, 4 5-star hotels offering 1,000 rooms, 3,000 rooms in 5 years, 3,000 in 10 years. All right. Now, as I said, we still have, not we, UDCOT, they are still going through. They have just downloaded the submissions. They now will go through the submissions. All right. But just from an initial impression, this is a major response.
And the competition is extremely fierce.
It's very competitive. Okay. So and this is the Waterfront Financial District that includes the International Financial Center, Convention Center, major pieces of infrastructure that will change the way we see ourselves, change the way we do business, and change the way people think about us when they come here. As long as we can get this going and get it done, we become a very competitive, sophisticated market for everybody. So we right up there competing. Let's go. Category 3, port construction, dredging and operation, 40 submissions. You know what that is? That is reclaiming lands for 400 acres of offshore oil islands. You got 40 submissions. It's serious business, okay? And this is about break bulk and bonded goods warehousing, Port Authority Administrative Complex, dry dock facility, right? 50 acres just for break bulk and bonded goods warehousing and so on. And, well, that dry docking, again, this is about being competitive and positioning Trinidad and Tobago. Because what underlying all of this, what are we looking for as a government? We are saying jobs, forex, all right, in the main. And, of course, safety and security. That's like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 1, 1. 3 again, well, all right, same, right? The port construction, dredging and operation. And we are talking about dredging 35.7 million tons. So these are really mega projects by any standards. And that is why some of this was very attractive to the global marketplace. Because, you know, they always look at islands in the Caribbean and so on, and say they're so small they can't scale up. But what we gave is scale. Because we said, okay, we are going to compete with the ports, not necessarily in the Caribbean, but in Latin America, some even in the US, and build a port with a capacity for 4 million TEUs. That is the container equivalent unit per year. Right? So this is serious business, again, and to really compete. Retail construction, category 4, on operation, 59 submissions. This is along the port of Port of Spain. You know, as long as we get the port moved, so now the port lands are all freed up. World-class convention center, 50 luxury ballrooms each. So we're talking about space to balance, that part of it. Not only convention. Convention business is big business. That is the business that has Vegas going. People feel Vegas is about show, and what go in Vegas, stay in Vegas. It's about conventions. That is the business they run. All right? So we are saying we are competing with them. We are going to compete with Florida. We are going to compete with New York because we have better weather. And, of course, equipped with cutting-edge audio-visual technology and connectivity. Because when you look, when we scanned, Latin America doesn't have this facility. All right? Where you have to go is up to North America to get this quality of facility. 5, let's go quickly. The multimodal hub Port of Spain, 34 submission. What we are talking about here, this is where the PTSC terminal is. Now, not what there's the inter-island ferry terminal right there. So we are going to integrate that. So you have inter-island, intercity, that is San Fernando, Port of Spain, maybe Point Fortin, Port of Spain, Cuba, Port of Spain, water taxi. Right? The Caribbean, the inter-island, meaning not only inter-island Trinidad, Tobago, we are talking about inter-island, the Grenadiers, the Barbados, the St. Vincent, wherever our foodstuff, we import from some of these other islands. Okay, so you have an integrated public transportation system. Number 5, same multimodal. This is now in San Fernando. Good. And they have a maxi taxi, a water taxi hub, maxi taxi hub, bus hub, and so on. So again, an integrated solution. High density housing. 57 submission. This is along the San Fernando waterfront. These are conceptuals. These are actual designs from architects. You had surveyors and so on designing these to scale. So them a pretty picture that is there. This is serious thing. So when we go out for the request for proposal, already we have the conceptuals. What they can do, they could tweak it. All right, but they have to tweak it with permission at the end of the day, because we don't want any 2x4 thing here. We are building Trinidad and Tobago to compete in a serious way. All right, when people come here from New York, Canada, Toronto, as they say, it must be seamless. Your roads good, everything looking nice and clean and safe and secure. But we're going to get to safe and secure just now. So 57 submissions. I was very surprised about this because I felt the social projects, the civic projects, as it were, those dealing some of them with national security or the socially displaced, even hospitals to some extent, they were not going to be taken up. But 54 submissions. Right. Next. Industrial park and free trade zone. This is in sea lots. Can you imagine, once we can bring this to reality, what this will do to the economy and sea lots, to the lives of people living in sea lots, right? 39 submissions. So the same way, Trinidad and Tobago is betting on sea lots, right? So when we are about to do the consultation inside the sea lots, I'll go myself. Yeah, no absentee landlord. I'll go myself to do the consultation, to talk to the people at sea lots to say, let us bring light manufacturing inside of here, free trade zone. You have a proximity to the harbor, to the port, so the cost of transportation is down, so you have a competitive advantage. Goods doesn't have to travel over long distances, so your goods, you have a built-in competitive advantage in having this free trade zone located in sea lots. Mixed-use real estate, 55 submissions, right? And this is mixed use along the port of Port-of-Spain, the portlands. For if you have to get context, this is the existing Hyatt Hotel, and one is proposing waterfront residences. You'll have things like, convention centers, hotels, and so on, restaurants, etc., maybe small boutiques, but of course built and present in a particular way. This is Rice Road. Enhancing the national security apparatus, which is critical to any kind of investment, to any kind of progress. People killing people like if we crazy wouldn't work. Good people might come in and they will make their money, a few, not many, and they're gone. They're not going to stay here, right? But when people, we want to be competitive, that the real C-suite executive, who are now going to Dubai, because why? It is safe. They are going to Abu Dhabi. They are going to Singapore. They say it's safe. And I could bring my wife and my children. When they come, you don't want them to just come for overnight. You want them to come and to stay because you want that talent, that expertise, their Rolodex, their networking to come with them. So this is National Security Administration. And this is really ensuring that our commissioner and the Trinidad and Tobago police service is brought into the 22nd century or even 23rd century, way ahead, because we're dealing with AI and all of that in terms of...
48 submissions.
We got 48 submissions, all right? So these are 40-acre single unified functional national security. We call it a campus, right? So this, again, might have been like a civic kind of project, but it has been taken up, 48 submissions. This is the same thing.
Government Campus Plaza, Central.
This is in Central. Good, we are talking about, again, decentralizing government. That everything is not stuck in borders. When we complain about the traffic, it's not only about having taxis when you want it, or in terms of your mass people mover, your Walmart bus, why you don't invest in light rail. Some of it is decentralized and it's common sense, it makes sense. And we have lands all around where you have these, this plaza, Price Plaza area there, right? So we are saying you relocate some of these ministries into these areas so everybody's not coming into Port-of-Spain. High-density car park. Is this in San Fernando, next to the proposed hospital? We got 44 submissions. Cultural real estate. Them boys jail. Again, this was one that surprised me. What we are talking about, when we consolidate the prisons into Tamana, we have a historic building in Port-of-Spain that is them boys jail. However, you can't build around it right now. You can't build above 2 stories because it's a jail, right? I think there is a basement and all of that. So one is saying, repurpose it. You keep the facade, which is historic, and you have a place for exhibition and event hall, classroom and studies for teaching and workshop. This is about culture. This is a space for culture. All them masks and thing, costume, calypso, your Kitchener wing, your Sparrow wing, and that kind of thing. Maybe a Marshall wing, who knows, right? So this is what you do with this. Is this 2 acres of land? Prime and it's really adjacent to Napa, the museum, our iconic Queen's Park, Savannah. So this is a prime piece of real estate.
This is one intended forex generators.
For sure. In addition, when people come to your country, we're coming to do. So you have to have places. You have to create spaces for people to visit, right, and to come again. This is the current Carrera prison that one is looking to repurpose. It sits under cultural real estate. So all that is part of the 43 responses we got. Healthcare facilities, 45 submissions. Right? We are talking about over 1,000 additional bed spaces, both in San Fernando and Port of Spain, because, again, we are looking at a world-class medical teaching campus, because you want to get to the point that with your healthcare, right now people are still waiting 2 days for a bed and what have you. So you get past that, and you have enough redundancy in the system, because we have excellent doctors, excellent nurses. We have doctors that home sleeping right now because they have no jobs. So you sap up all of that redundancy and extra capacity that we have. This is actually in San Fernando. When we had first, the Prime Minister then, 2010 to 2015, the previous administration had built an admin building in San Fernando. And the Prime Minister had said, people sleeping on the streets, in the corridor of the hospital, repurpose that to a bed tower. And we repurposed it to a 116, I think, bed tower in San Fernando. And the idea after that was this, again, iconic hospital, the San Fernando Hospital, to convert it into a medical school, and you build a new hospital, a 21st, 22nd century hospital.
And we got 45 submissions for that.
45 submissions, right? Healthcare facilities, and this is Port of Spain. Now, where we are talking about having 25 operating theater, radiography and imaging center, rehabilitation and specialty center, multi-story parking structure. What I have not seen is the oncology, because we look at the diseases that plague our own people, and then we build out from that. Healthcare in North America, I mean, who could afford in Trinidad? They go there. But healthcare for the American citizens is very high, okay? We believe we can do it better. We can do it at a cheaper cost, both the healthcare and the pharmaceuticals. And basically, instead of people from America going to the Middle East, Latin America, and so on, we have 4.5 hours of mainland America, right? We should be the space of choice, the market of choice, the destination of choice. 15, urban park and retail, 55 submissions. And this is in San Fernando. Again, this picture is the concept. This is San Fernando, where you have, again, the Plaza San Carlos. I think that now exists. Good, but all of the other spaces, the 10,000 persons convention center, 50 marina berth, and so on, we got 55 submissions. Mm-hmm. Energy recovery facility, this has to do with BTHM and putting BTHM waste to use, all right? In terms of recycling, waste management, the training hub, and so on, 36 submissions. And everything we are doing it in a way that the world would want to come here to learn, you know, what we are doing. We want to create a model of excellence in every single area that we are pointing out here. Mm-hmm. We talk about the consolidation of justice, where it is proposed to close down Carrera Island, 25 acres, close Frederick Street, as you see, Golden Grove Prison, 270 acres, and you consolidate it in Tamana, the Tamana Park.